So now welcome back to part 3 of our webinar. And let's see if we can do this. This is technically a little bit more difficult for me, so I might need a moment to organize it. But you're going to get a chance to choose your own breakout rooms. Before we do that, I wanted to mention something about grammar teaching. And this was a discussion we had earlier. When you're teaching grammar, which forms do you teach first and why? If you came on Wednesday, you will remember these. If we think about verbs, there are a lot of things to teach. I can teach positive sentences, like I like, simple present. Or negative sentences, I don't like. I can teach yes/no questions. Now, do you like? Do you like coffee? Do you drink milk? Don't you like coffee? Don't you drink milk? I can ask negative questions too. Yeah, I can also ask things. I can also teach the short answers. So my students usually have a problem with the short answers. If I ask, do you like pizza? They say, yes, I like. And we don't say that in English, right? We say, yes, I do. That's always a problem for my students, everywhere in the world, because it's a little bit strange, this auxiliary verb. All right. I can also teach the long answers. Yes, I like pepperoni pizza. Or yes, I like black coffee. I can also teach WH questions. So what kind of coffee do you like? Why do you like pizza? Makes sense? And the last category is the imperatives. Drink, write, stand up, sit down. All right. Now, my question really is, what order do we teach these things in? You don't need to write if you like, because I will be sharing the PowerPoint slides later. So don't worry. These are just the examples. Most of the time, I see that teachers teach the positive sentences first. I visit a lot of countries around the world watching English teachers. I have been in hundreds of classes watching teachers and students or in different places in the world. And usually I see that the teachers want to teach the positive sentences first. So they teach I like, for example. Or I have got. I can swim. All right. But I don't do that. If possible, if I can make a change, I don't do this, because in real life we don't walk around saying, hello, I like pizza, I like black coffee, I haven't got a car. I mean, it's weird. We don't talk like that. What we actually do is we ask questions. Oh, hi, do you want to have some coffee? Have you got free time for a coffee? Let's go to the cafe. What kind of coffee do you drink? What do you want? This kind of thing. All right. So I usually start something like this. I usually start with the yes/no questions because they're easier for the students to understand, and they can answer non-verbally. They can say, or if they're not confident speaking in English yet, they can just show me. Okay. And you can have emojis, yes, no, this kind of thing. Yeah, but they understand the question. And then I try to show them that it doesn't matter what the question was. Do you get up early? Do you read a newspaper every day? Do you have breakfast before you come to school? Then the answer is always going to be either yes, I do, or no, I don't. And that's a phrase. That's just the way we say it in English. Yes, I do. No, I don't. So they can listen and hear the grammar and learn the verbs by listening to me and looking at pictures, and then they can answer with a short answer. And then in English, when we talk, I might say, I don't know, do you have a car? And someone says, yes, I do. So I say, oh, what kind of car do you have? Is your car a good car? Why did you choose this car? How many miles can you drive with a gallon of gas? Yeah. How expensive was your car? if you know the person. So then we start asking more questions, and then I need the WH questions. In a conversation, that's going to be a more logical order. And I only look at the positive and negative sentences later. Because in my classroom, I want to have communication between students and the students and me. And we can't communicate if we can't ask questions. Okay? So I sometimes watch classes, and in my notebook, I'm putting a little tick. Okay? And I listen. How many questions were asked in the lesson? And usually the teacher asks all the questions, and the students never ask any questions. And then the teacher complains that the students don't want to speak English. They cannot, because you did not give them the question form. Okay? So in my class, I make the students ask me the questions, because that's more natural. It's something to think about. And I don't know whether you agree or you disagree about this. So I'm kind of curious. And I would quite like to have your opinion about this. Would anyone like to say anything about this idea? I'm not saying that you should do this, okay? I'm just offering this as an idea and something to think about. Because probably when you were in school, your teacher taught you positive sentences first. Okay, and that might have been 20 years ago. I mean, I'm old, so that was a long time ago for me when I learned French and German that way. Okay, and if I take that old idea into my classroom, I will not get students speaking. So we have to ask questions about ourselves too. Now I open up the floor to you. Would anyone like to say anything in English or in Portuguese? Because this is a kind of difficult topic to talk about in English. What is your reaction to this idea? You can raise a hand and you like the idea. Some people like the idea, okay. For some people, it may be a very new idea to try like this. Would anyone like to speak? No? Yes? Jacqueline?
Last class, I did with my students that activity that you give the answer and they have to create a question.
Yeah.
And it's very good because I could realize just this idea that questions are the basis of a communication. We need questions. And
Totally
they
agree.
surprised me because they created very good questions that I thought, my God, I didn't know that you had this knowledge about English. And they say, oh, yes, teacher, I know this and that. And I was very happy with this experience.
Good.
And it was very great. Very nice.
Great. So now, yeah, you raised a really important point. The students know more than we realize. They also know things that you did not teach them. That's really interesting. Sometimes teachers say to me, oh, I can't do that in class because I haven't taught the past tense yet.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe your students already know a little bit of past tense because they listen to pop music, they watch TV. I mean, English is kind of everywhere. You know, it's out there. And even if they don't know the past tense, they can still tell a story. We tell stories in the present tense too, you know?
Yeah.
So, you know, I get up, I go out, and what do I see? A lion outside in Cambridge. I mean, what is a lion doing in Cambridge? I can tell a whole story in the present tense. I don't need past tense. So teachers say, I'm not going to do storytelling because I didn't teach the past tense yet. That's not fair on the students. You know, let them try. I mean, let them use their English to do something real. I don't know. That's just my opinion here. So we're going to move on because I don't want to spend the whole time here. Can we take another 10 minutes? If you need to leave, you can always leave whenever you want to. 10, 15 minutes would be great because I want to put you into different breakout rooms. Yeah. And I want to give you a chance to get ready for that. So let me go back. And we can discuss this all in the Facebook group. I will put these slides up in the Facebook group later. Let me just see. We're going to do a breakout room activity where you can choose your own breakout room to go to. I'm going to try to get this technically working. I need a moment to do that. Okay. I'm going to allow you to break the rooms. Excuse me. Sorry. Whoops. I did something wrong there. Don't want to do that. Whoa. And in a moment, I'm going to open the rooms and you will have a chance to choose the room you want to go to. So if you want to talk about food and cooking, you should choose breakout room number 7.
All right.
Yeah, if you want to talk about music, which number? Number 3. Okay? You ready?
Yeah.
And how many minutes? Can I give you 10 minutes to talk in the room? Is that a good time limit about your topic? Yeah?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Phew, now we got the right settings. It's going to work. So I'm going to open all the rooms. Have a good time.
Okay.
Thank you.
I can speak.
We are recording again now. Super. Good. I hope you enjoyed that. Getting a thumbs up signal from some people and some nods. That's really nice. Lovely. So welcome back, everybody. I'll just mute a few people's microphones. Great. If it's okay, I'm going to take a screenshot of everybody's happy, smiling faces. Is that okay? So we're going to have in 3. Okay, so 3, 2, 1, smile. Great. Let me just save that. There are so many of us that I'll need to take the second window. So I'm going to do it again in a second. All right, let me pull my screen capture thing up. So I'm going to take a picture in 3, 2, 1. All right, 3, 2, 1. Smile, everybody. Super. And I'll share those later on if that's okay on Facebook because I think it's so much fun to have a memory. Okay. Yeah. 2 whole screenfuls of people. That's brilliant. So did you enjoy talking to each other like that? Excellent. Great. I'm going to show you one slide and then I'm going to make sure that we don't look at slides again for a while. I just want to remind you that if you noticed maybe this time when you were talking about your topics, yeah, it's really important to have those extra question words, right? If you can't ask questions, then it's really hard to, keep a conversation going. So giving our students questions and the ability to ask questions, I think is really, really wonderful. All right? That helps them to use English to communicate something real. And that is, in fact, all of the stuff that we're going to be doing today. So this is kind of the end of webinar 6, but I'm going to open up the gallery so we can all see each other. And I'm going to stop maybe I won't stop the recording now. We'll just keep recording. It's fun. But I don't want to share my screen. I want to be with everybody instead. So if anyone wants to unmute themselves and make a comment, because we have kind of finished the breakout room activities now, I would love to hear any comments. Oh, yes, so you're hungry. Yes, I understand. Yeah, lunchtime. If you talked about food. Yeah. Great. So, I mean, we can do this again next week on Wednesday. I'm thinking of doing it twice, where you choose the breakout rooms. And maybe once we can talk about teaching ideas. We could talk about teaching grammar in one room, teaching vocabulary in another room. Yeah, that might be fun. I'll maybe put some questions about teaching topics, and you can choose a room to go to. And then maybe the second time we can either do, oh, you could stay here all day. That's nice, Clarice. That's wonderful. We can either use the same topics and you pick a different room if you want, or we can have different topics. If you can suggest and give ideas in the Telegram group later about topics you want to talk about, questions you want to talk about, I'm really happy to put them on the slide, all right, and make an option. So I'm going to write that on Telegram later and ask you to give me some ideas. So we talk about the things you want to talk about. You know, I'm very excited because we made a lot of progress from the beginning of our course until today. Yeah. When I remember the first webinar, yeah, and the second webinar, and now I look at everybody today, I see that you are really, really making progress. That's how I feel as a teacher. So would anyone like to say anything before I finish recording? Anyone want to put their hand up? Yes, Katerina.
I would like to say that we choose a number to talk about the word shopping, but we developed another conversation about talking culture, art. It was really great. We englobe all kinds of subjects. It was perfect.
Great. Yeah, I mean, we can't all meet in a coffee shop, and even if we could, we are in different locations, and you are all in different locations. So in your rooms, you are meeting people from all across Brazil. I think it's wonderful. Yeah?
It was great. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Super. Anybody else want to say anything? I would like to say thank you to all the mentors who have been moving around the rooms in some cases and helping with timing and helping to organize things. I really appreciate your help with that. It's great because I usually need to stay behind and do the technical stuff. I cannot go around all the rooms, which I would love to do, but I cannot do that, especially when there's like 9, 10, 11 rooms, because someone gets bumped out and then there's a problem and I need to fix that in the main room. All right. So that's all we have for you today. I'm going to stop recording here.